Alright, so we got it cut loose and getting ready to pull the frame out from under it. Martin has
been busy the past couple of days.
No, I think you've been busy too. We're going to cut that off real quick for the mount. We're going to have to rebuild it, but we'll get it off of there. But I think that's it. Everything else is off that we need. We're going to rebuild the cross member here for the bottom of the cylinders and the one for the top of the cylinders. I don't think I'm even going to put it here. I think we're just going to do a new plate through. Heavy wall instead of a thin one. Alright, folks, we got it out, doing some cleaning on it, grinding on it, start working on it. Alright, show you where we're at. We have built the mounts for the top side of the cylinders, much heavier than original. Also plated from here back to there. That's 1/4 inch. This is a 1/2 inch. This is 1/2 inch. This is 1/4. No, wait a minute. Yeah, this is 1/4. And so this angle goes down 5 inches and wraps in 3 inches. So it supports everything together. Now the original cylinders hooked here. They had it hooked here. We put it here. And they're longer than the originals. They're a little bit smaller, so I came forward of where they would have normally mounted. And also I left them out far enough from the frame and the mount. That's one of the reasons I got this in here spacing it. I've done that to be able to change the cylinders out if I need to. So here's what we're doing for the mounts. Now this pin's just the old pin I got stuck in there, but what will happen is this will be welded to the pin, and this will be bolted through here, through the bolt hole, and that'll keep the pin in and it'll get cut off on the other end. There is a grease fitting on here. So that solves all the problems with the top side. Got both done, the other one is on also. I did get the boxes built. I'll screw a cover over the back here, but made the boxes for the tail lights, and they will be nice. And here's the other side. Like I said, I've got some coming and I've got some lights already here. As you can see, this was some used steel here. I did buy a new sheet, but I used part of that sheet for a steam engine, for side covers. This is what I used for here, and then I used a piece for the track, and then I used 2 pieces for one of my steam engines, the Hamilton engine, for the side covers over it. And we went ahead and cut them out since we was playing with it. So here's the other side, and here's where they had it mounted. Like I said, this will get cut off. And working with the cylinder angles, you know, I want it to be as high as the drive shaft when I'm done. So there's about level. And you know, you don't want it laying flat, but you don't want it down too far that it's going to hit. So, you know, that was just working to get an idea. And then we've got a 3-foot box here. Pretty nice box, just needs a little cleanup on top. Really good shape inside, no rust or anything. And we have our, I don't know how many gallon tank that is. That's probably, well, looking at the saddle tank on the other side is 17. That's probably a 20-gallon hydraulic tank. And that was on the truck, and we'll remount it on this side. So I'm mounting a 3-foot toolbox and a 2-foot toolbox on the other side. We're mounting the tank and the 3-foot on this side. The bad part about mounting this here is I've got to go over that exhaust. We'll go in and over top the exhaust, that way it don't get on our hose, because our PTO mounts on the opposite side of the transmission. So but you know, 99.9% of the time you're on the driver's side of the truck. So I wanted to keep the toolboxes on, mainly on that side. That's why I'm not mounting this tank on that side. You know, I could easily do that, but I just don't want to. It's worth the extra trouble of running the line over, not having to walk over here every time I need to get something out of that particular box. And you know, you keep stuff in this box that you don't use that much. And then them 2 boxes over there, as you can see, the 2-foot, 3-foot, they'll be bolted together. And then I'm going to build a tray on top of them. So when you put the bed down, you probably have to raise the bed up and move it to get into the tray. And then let me see, what else have we got done? Not much on the truck. I do have the new, I'll show you the new rail. I don't know if I showed the handles or not, but I did get the new handles in for the ends here. This one's bent. It needs to be out some, but I'm not going to bend it. I'd rather leave it because if I bend it, it'll break. I've got a feeling for sure. They don't have that one in stock. So these angle, but not as far. These angle 3 point something inches. These are straight, or this center one's straight. So this one should be bent out this way. And I don't know what the angle is, but like I said, they had these in stock and they had the straight in stock, but they didn't have these. And they're only $9 something a piece. So I'm going to wait until they get them back in stock, and then I'll get them. I did get my other mud flap mount on. I don't know if I showed you that or not. Went ahead and drilled it first on the drill press. We have it on and ready for the mud flaps, but they won't come until after paint. And I've got new International mud flaps for it. It's kind of funny. I'll tell you a little story on that. The mud flaps with the white outline International on it, and you know, paid pretty good money for them. Not great money. I think 60 bucks or something, but plenty for, you know, a set of mud flaps, I think. And anyway, I got a message from them that said, "Oh yeah, we printed the International upside down, and we'll knock $25 off if you want them." And I don't want upside down International mud flaps. I mean, they're already drilled and bolted, you know, for bolting in the top, and the way they're made, they're not made to put on upside down. They're rounded on the bottom corners, so it would just make a mess. So I just told them I want it refunded, and they finally, after arguing with them a little while, they refunded me. They was trying to get me to pick another different set, you know, and that's the only International set they had. But anyway, I ended up buying the International ones with the good emblem, which is what I got on my hat. The orange and the black and all. So that's the emblem that's on them. Now I had to pay $20 extra, but you know, if I get decent flaps, I don't mind. I mean, I'd rather do that. So here is our wear pads. So I am going to make sure that I know how thick these are. That way, if I ever need any, I can make them. These weren't cheap, but I needed them. And if I had to machine the thickness of them, because there's so many of them, 4, 5, 6, there's 12 of them, it'd take a while to do. So I just figured I'd buy them this time, and if I need them again later, I'll make them, but I'll already know what thickness they need to be to start with. So that's that. And then there's my other box. Box don't match. It's made, this is actually a heavier duty box than this, but they will get bolted together and they'll be just fine when I'm done. And these were used boxes. So that was a used box, and I don't even know where I got it from. I just happened to find it. I think that come off the 3500 HD that we took apart and took the bed off of and put on the 4-door. Pretty sure. Anyway, replaced this piece. This one was rotted out really bad, and I actually replaced it with a 1/4 inch thick wall, and everything that was on here was, you know, little 1/8 inch stuff. So anyway, that's what we had to do, and that's taken care of. We're trying to get rid of all the rust, and you know, there's a lot of pitting, and this is pretty thin, mainly on this front corner for some reason, and that's why, you know, we put the 1/4 inch angle iron down the side of it, so we don't have to worry about it. It's not going to break, let's put it that way. And I'm not worried about weight. You know, if we add 500 pounds of steel to it, it's not going to make a difference to me, not with what I'm hauling. So I'd rather have it foolproof. You know, we're trying to insure ourselves here. PTO will be here tomorrow. I hate it. I'm not able to use the PTO I had. Had a friend in Pennsylvania that sent me a case, and I'd planned to use the PTO, and I'll show you the case. You see the my case, and it was busted. So he had this one, and it's the exact same case, and we are going to swap it over and use it. We just can't use it on this truck. This is going to be the same as a regular 5-speed. So we'll save this one in case we need it, or if even he needs it. But anyway, so what happened was I was under the assumption that this case was made for a 6+1, and it wasn't. It was made for a 5-speed. This one takes a deeper PTO, and it's a TG series, which is what this is. You can't use this case on this transmission and make it work, because you can't get the gear to go in far enough. So unfortunately, because if so, I just ordered the right gear for it and we'd been done and rolling on. Unfortunately, it takes a different case. So the TG series is a really good unit for, we can use it on Allison, we can use it on, you know, well, basically anything but this transmission, and we can, you know, or something that takes a special case. But we can use it, we can just change the main gear and that would be it. But anyway, that's the way it goes. So I ordered a new PTO, and I didn't get a Muncie and I didn't get a Chelsea. I think I got a China. Alright, sun's bright. Hopefully it won't screw us up here. Trying to do some figuring on angles. and on the mount for the cylinder. All right, folks, here's where we are. Brackets are done for here. Now the cylinder get turned over, the fittings are going to be on the bottom. Let me see, we added a cross member, let me see, all the way across. Yeah, all the way across, and then I just gusseted it a little bit down. Now we got tomorrow is pin making day, so we're going to make the pins like we want them. These will get welded on the pins, drilled, bolted through. That'll be done. Got some more welding, of course, to do here, but we just want to get everything together and test it. Worked on, let me see, PTO's on. I bought a PTO, I don't remember what brand it is, something Sun. It's an oddball brand. It's probably China, I'm sure. I couldn't find a warning label on it, but I'm sure that's where it came from. The it's a shame, but everything's came that way. But so the brand new PTO with cable and all the, let me see, the stud kit, the bolts, the gaskets, everything. I don't know if you can see it under there or not. I don't think so. So that was actually $580 is what that cost, and it would have been $1,200 for a Muncie, and probably higher than that, I'm sure, for a Chelsea PTO. So we're going to try this one. It seems to be a really nice PTO. Got it on, set the backlash on the gear. Everything is fine, and you set it by gasket thickness. It comes with 5 gaskets, and then you just work with it until you get it where you want it at. And I've got it where I want it at. So definitely not too tight, definitely not too loose. So we won't have any gear noise, but we won't have any whining and extra wear neither. Pump will be here this week. Surplus Center has this new line of pumps that are pretty cheap, but I have noticed I bought 3 of them, and I think they lie a little bit about their gallons per minute. And I'm not saying that they do, I'm saying the manufacturer does. So what I've come up with, where normally I wouldn't run, you know, a 20 gallon per minute unit. You know, everything is cubic inches now is what they're running, but I mean, you can change it over to gallons per minute so you can make more sense with it, because I'm used to that. But anyway, so normally I wouldn't run a 20 gallon per minute pump on this truck. You know, 16 gallon per minute would be max. But with these pumps, they don't pump what they claim they pump. I put a 16 on the 4-door rollback, and it didn't pump what it should have been pumping. It done fine, don't get me wrong, it just wasn't what they claimed it to be. So I went with a 20 on this one, and we're going to see how it works out, and I'll let everybody know on that. So this thing did have a screen in the tank. It did not have a filter. It needs to have a screen in the tank and a filter on the return side, so we're going to have to put a filter on it. Mud flaps, here's our mud flaps, we got new ones. And like I said, I've got all the taillights. So anyway, that's where we're at with it. The weather's been really crappy. We've had some really cold days, and actually it was really cold yesterday, but I did put the PTO on and get that finished up. So I'm hoping that we can knock this piece out for sure this week. So we'll get everything finished up, get the hoses on it, get the pins made right, and that'll basically be most of everything for here. And then we're going to jump up on this lock system and get that cut back apart and redone and put back together the way I want it. And then we'll get it mounted, and then we can go ahead and get some paint on this thing hopefully this week, because it's going to be warm. If we catch it before it gets to raining, well, I think it's going to rain Thursday, so hopefully we'll get it. Anyway, that's where we're at on it, and I think this setup will hold up just fine. Like I said, 1/2 inch stuff. We kind of overkilled it compared to what a lot of them are, but you know, I don't know. We'll know for sure when we go to put stuff on it, right? Anyway, okay. And the angle is about what, you know, the other angles are. I checked the other trucks just to get an idea on it. So, and I learned another thing. Let me run this by you too. Years and years ago on these rollbacks, I learned, you see I got a 1/2 inch right here, and I've got a 1/2 inch there even though the bed is completely down. I do that for a reason. If you ever use one that won't go all the way down and you get all the rattling and shaking in this tilt frame, and you get in a bind, you know, on an angle or something, and it won't pull down far enough to go into the locks, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So that's something that I learned a long time ago to do. So I've been doing it for a long time like that. And you know, if you build everything heavy enough, it's going to stop it anyway. It's not going to hurt anything. So it works out really well. And of course, you got a pressure relief valve on the controls. And anyway, all right. So back on it tomorrow, and I'll show you more. Appreciate everybody watching. Till next time. Bye.